Hey everyone, welcome back. Our next guest is a Bronxite who decided to give back to her community by creating the Mott Haven Film Festival. The main goal of the event is to elevate the voice of Bronx filmmakers by giving them space to showcase their projects. Now, for the second year, the Mott Haven Film Festival is back with more films, but this time it's got a little twist, and we're going to talk more about that. So joining us to tell us more about this year's film festival, we welcome founder and executive director, Ninoska Carolina. Hello and welcome.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Well, congratulations on your second year.
Thank you so much.
And obviously, I made the formal introduction of it being a platform to elevate Bronx voices, but from what I understand, this year it has it's actually expanded outside of the Bronx, not only for Bronx filmmakers, but just in general, like international, right?
Yes. We were very fortunate to become an international film festival in our first year. Initially, we wanted to be exclusive to the Bronx, but after some feedback, we decided to open up to New York City, New York State, and the rest of the world. And we were just fortunate enough to have 3 international films. One was done in China, one in Nigeria, and one in Mexico. And those were really big hits last year. So we decided to continue doing the same thing for our second season.
So, all right. So let's just backtrack a little bit, right? So you opened up, this is your second year, which means your first year was in 2020?
Yes, it was.
That was a very interesting year to create a
to say the least. Yes.
That was exclusive to the Bronx. And based on the circumstances in us finding community virtually is, I guess, what led to your expansion in opening it up to a broader audience, because that's exactly who your audience was, right? The world. So
exactly. Yes.
However, I think it's really cool that in its reopening in person, it's back in the Bronx. But yeah, now you're bringing the world to the Bronx, we'll say.
Right. Well, that was the idea overall. Back in the late 2019, when I first came up with the idea, I was actually on a plane to LA to a film festival. And it just dawned on me, like, why are we flying to LA for a film festival? People from LA or anywhere really should be coming to the Bronx and come and attend a film festival in the Bronx. So that's kind of like where that Bronx pride came in. And that was part of the initial idea overall. Like, I wanted people to come visit the Bronx and see that there's so much arts and culture, not just hip hop and breakdancing, but there's other forms of art out there.
So what are the criteria that people need to meet in order to qualify for this festival?
Well, the overall qualification is to have a beginning, middle, and end, right? The film can be anywhere between a minute long to 120 minutes long. That's where the shorts and the feature films come into play, those different categories. But overall, if you have a project and you're very passionate about it and you want to submit it into a film festival, we are here for you to do so.
Okay, and so I know the film festival is coming up, so if you're interested in submissions, you're going to have to wait for next year, because the selection has already been made. However, I wanted to just share with everyone, that there's a nice variety. You have short films, you have feature films. It's actually happening 2 days, October 9th and October 10th. And feel free to share some of the films that are going to be featured and how they were chosen. And I guess how you curated the storytelling, right? Because if it's short films, they're all in one block, but I'm assuming like there's a message in the entire block.
Yes, of course. So we are showing 24 films this year. 2 of them are feature films, which means they're over 60 minutes, and 22 of them happen to be short films. And then there's 22 independent filmmakers that were selected. And overall, the message, especially in the Sunday 3 p.m., is tailored towards films being done during COVID, right? And either you see someone wearing a mask or the mask is very present there. But overall, that's the message for that one particular slot. But overall, we have a thriller, we have comedy, we have documentaries, we have experimental. We just have a variety of films, and you can contact us and ask us like which one we may suggest for you or maybe your family member, and we will be more than happy to help you out with that.
So I understand the film festival is being hosted at Create Hub. Can
Yes.
you share with us what Create Hub is so that people understand what they're going to be experiencing? And also if tickets need to be bought in advance, like I'm assuming you have a limited amount of people that you can
Yes.
have per block. So let's talk about, I guess, that criteria as well.
Right. So the Create Hub is a creative studio space. We have different rooms and we call them studios. And basically we are, every studio is a different person. Like we have tattoo artists, we have, the offices of the Mott Haven Film Festival. And, anything that you could think of is probably coming out of that one space. And so there is a gallery there, and that's where the Mott Haven Film Festival is going to take place. And we will be using also the lounge area. And overall, it's best to buy your tickets beforehand. You can just visit our website or go to the link in our bio for Instagram, and it will take you straight over to Eventbrite, and you can just purchase your tickets there. There are some requirements due to COVID that we do need to follow this year, but overall, everything is set for 50 seats per slot. So once the 50 seat mark is done, that's it, no more seats.
So 50 seats per block. So, and altogether, how many blocks are there? There's a 12 p.m. screening on Saturday, right?
Yes. Yes, it's a 12 p.m.
3 p.m.
And then a 7 p.m. So it's 6 screening slots in total, 3 per day.
3 per day. Wonderful.
Yes.
And how are you feeling having created and just been able to navigate through all of these obstacles to make sure that your film festival is executed even on a higher scale this year?
It's been tough, but it's a good tough. It has definitely made me much more resilient and much more patient with how things are happening nowadays. Because last year we did have a hybrid, like an in-person and virtual, but at a much smaller scale, and we're kind of imitating that this year. But now the restrictions are different, with the vaccination requirement. So we're working around it. We're trying to be as flexible as we can, but we also need to consider safety first, and the safety measurements were different, from the way they are now. So it's been a roller coaster indeed.
Well, congratulations to you again on executing this film festival. That is so important to the Bronx. Once again, everyone, founder and executive director of the Mott Haven Film Festival, Ninoska Carolina. And if you guys are interested in participating, as in attending the Mott Haven Film Festival, it's taking place on October 9th and October 10th. And it's a full day with 3 different blocks. And if you're interested in learning more of what films are being featured at what time, all you have to do is visit their website at mhff.nyc. All right, we do have to take a quick break, but Bobby C's Weekly Sports Roundup is coming up next.